Golden State Warriors are absolutely redefining the narrative of team depth and resilience in the 2024 NBA season. Missing key players like Stephen Curry, Andrew Wiggins, and DeAnthony Melton would leave many teams scrambling, but not the Warriors. Instead, they walked away with two massive victories against a formidable New Orleans Pelicans team, a squad with star power in Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. The message was clear. This team is not only built for the stars, but it's also one of the deepest rosters we've seen in years, and that's what makes them so dangerous. Imagine this. A team already blessed with top-tier talent has figured out how to play without their superstars, showing that they can win games without always relying on their biggest names. In a back-to-back game against New Orleans, the Warriors displayed a level of depth that should have the entire league worried. But what's even more incredible is that they did this against a team that still had two of the most potent scorers in the league, and they managed to dominate. This isn't just a team. It's a collection of hungry, talented players who all want their moment in the spotlight. And what's even more impressive, every player on the roster is stepping up to deliver when their number is called. For Warriors fans, it's a golden age of basketball right now. The games against the Pelicans were a perfect example of the new-look Golden State Warriors' ability to work seamlessly as a unit. It wasn't just one or two players carrying the team. It was a collective effort that demonstrated just how dangerous they are in all aspects of the game. Even though they were without two key players, the Warriors showed that their bench isn't just a collection of backup players. They've got depth beyond belief. Take, for example, Buddy Hield. We're talking about a player who, when coming off the bench, dropped an astonishing 20 points in a half. It was almost like watching Steph Curry play from the bench. The shooting, the movement, the intensity, Hield was making it look effortless. But it wasn't just him. The entire team had 6 double-digit scorers in the second game, with 5 in the first game. To put that in perspective, most teams would be thrilled if they had 1 or 2 players contributing that much. But the Warriors' strength lies in the fact that it's happening up and down the roster. When you have players like these stepping up, you know the team is built to last. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Sure, scoring is important, but the real story here is the Warriors' defense. When you think about Golden State, defense isn't always the first thing that comes to mind. But this season, it's been a completely different story. The defensive shift has been led by none other than Draymond Green, a player who's constantly been at the center of both praise and criticism. People have questioned his value over the years, calling him overrated and overpaid. But games like the one against the Pelicans are a stark reminder of just how valuable he is to this team. Draymond is a defensive mastermind, and in this game, he showed exactly why he's one of the most intimidating defenders in the NBA. Zion Williamson was one of the league's hottest young stars, and Draymond Green had the task of guarding him. The result? A complete shutdown. Zion shot just 5 of 19 from the field, turning the ball over 4 times. Draymond not only contained him, but also made him work for every single shot. It's that type of defensive mastery that makes Green one of the greatest to ever play the game. Whether it was a perfectly timed block, an altered shot, or a moment where Zion had to settle for a jumper that he usually wouldn't take, Draymond showed that his basketball IQ is second to none. He was a pest, a constant presence on the floor, and when you watch him play defense, you realize how much of a difference maker he is. This isn't the first time Draymond has silenced his critics, and it probably won't be the last. But moments like these make it clear. Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer in the making, and his impact on the Warriors' defense cannot be overstated. His performance against Zion was a masterclass, one that will go down in the history books as one of the finest defensive games of the season. And it wasn't just Draymond. Jonathan Kuminga, one of the Warriors' most promising young players, stepped up in a major way. With Curry and Wiggins out, everyone was wondering if this was Kuminga's time to shine. Steve Kerr, though, surprised everyone by keeping him off the starting lineup. That could have been a recipe for disappointment, but Kuminga took it in stride. Rather than sulking, he turned in a performance that was nothing short of inspiring. His defense was on point, And on offense, he showcased his star potential. His play against the Pelicans had everyone in awe, and even more importantly, it had both Steph Curry and Coach Kerr showing visible approval. The Warriors' offense continues to be a well-oiled machine, and Kuminga's smart decision-making and ability to play within the flow of the game made him a key contributor. His performance reminded everyone why he's such a coveted player for the future of the team. He's still learning, but moments like these prove that the Warriors have a budding star on their hands. As Kuminga continues to develop, it's clear he's going to be an integral part of Golden State's future success. The bench players have been another huge factor in the Warriors' success. Kyle Anderson, who had a tough game in the first matchup against the Pelicans, came back strong in the second game. He was solid on both ends of the floor in the reply, playing his part defensively and contributing to the team's ball movement. Anderson's role on this team isn't flashy, but it's effective. His defense, his length, and his ability to switch seamlessly between positions make him an invaluable piece of the puzzle. The Warriors might not always get star performances from him, but what they do get is consistency, and that's more than enough. Another player who's quickly becoming a fan favorite is Brandon Podziemski, a player who might not light up the stat sheet, but makes an impact every single time he steps on the floor. His hustle is unmatched, and whether he's drawing charges, getting offensive rebounds, or simply making the extra pass, Podziemski is always in the right place at the right time. His contributions might go unnoticed by the casual fan, but those who know basketball understand just how important players like him are to a team's success. As he continues to improve his jump shot and ball handling skills, Podziemski is destined for greater things. And let's not forget about Lindy Waters, a player who many thought wouldn't make the roster, yet here he is, contributing to victories in a major way. Waters was picked up essentially for nothing, and in the early stages of the season, he's already proving his worth. He's a sharp shooter who can score in bunches, but he's also a solid defender with good size and a high basketball IQ. His early performances, including a breakout game against the Pelicans, have shown that he's more than just a throw-in addition to the team. Waters could be a hidden gem for Golden State, and with their depth, he's in the perfect environment to succeed. As the season continues, the Golden State Warriors are showing that their depth and versatility are their greatest strengths. They are no longer just a team that relies on Curry to carry them to victory. With players like Draymond Green locking down the defense, Buddy Hield providing scoring, and Kuminga emerging as a future star, the Warriors are a complete team. This isn't just a roster built for the regular season. This is a team that is ready to compete for a championship. So if you're an NBA fan, it's time to pay attention to the Golden State Warriors. They might not have their stars at full strength right now, but what they do have is a roster full of hungry, talented players who are stepping up when it counts. This could be the start of something even bigger for the Warriors. And if they keep playing this way, they might just have what it takes to go all the way. With depth, defense, and a roster full of contributors, the Warriors are ready for anything the season throws their way. This concept can be expanded into a full article, focusing more on individual player performances, team dynamics, and key moments from the season. The narrative would appeal to NBA fans, especially Warriors fans, by highlighting both the individual brilliance and the collective strength of the team. The hook here is about the depth of the Warriors and how they are showing that the team is not only dependent on Curry or any single player, but is ready to compete with the whole roster stepping up to the challenge.